right. Remember back when the idea of putting together a January 6th commission to investigate what really happened? Remember when that was in the planning and how the Republicans had all these ridiculous bullshit little excuses for saying no to the bipartisan commission they were invited to participate in? Remember that? And what the Christian fascists, what they were saying, the reason for their objection to participating in an investigation was the notion there was nothing more to learn. We'd seen it all on television. Everybody knew what it was, right? The turtle, the scum bastard Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader, this past May, put it this way, quote, "It's not at all clear what new facts or additional investigations yet another commission could actually lay on top of existing efforts by law enforcement and Congress," end quote. Gibberish bullshit. Now, it's never a good idea to make assurances that there is nothing to find out about a secret plot to overthrow an election. I mean, come on, turtle, you dumb bastard, you. But Jennifer Rubin, writing at the Post today, she says, quote, "McConnell's statement was also absurdly wrong. It is hard to recount all that we have learned from the House Select Committee's investigation on January 6th. For example," and then she lists some of the things the committee has discovered. Here they are. The orange vomit and the Assistant Attorney General, Jeffrey Clark, together schemed to involve the Justice Department in a plot to invalidate the election. I mean, that in itself is just mind-boggling. The opposite from the mind-boggling that occurs when you consider the James Webb Space Telescope. But this, Donald Jesus Christ Trump and this little prick Jeffrey Clark, were going to use the Justice Department to invalidate the election. I mean, that's a heart stopper right there. But they also found, the committee so far, an executive order was drafted to allow the federal government, using the fucking military, to seize voting machines. We also learned so far that 7 states, about which we know something, put forth fake slates of electors. Talk about election fraud. Hey, you fucking fascist Christians, you want election fraud? There it is, staring you in your goddamn pious faces. But what are you going to do about it? Nothing? Of course not. We also discovered, the committee did, that the former president, the orange vomit, Donald Jesus Christ Trump, was in contact with a team of treasonous dogs led by Giuliani, John Eastman, Boris Epstein, and the Nazi Jew Stephen Bannon, all of whom set up a post at the Willard Hotel in D.C., working to delay and destroy certification of electoral votes. And what else? We've also learned, thanks to the commission, that Republican members of Congress, the fascist Christians, sent texts to then White House Chief of Staff, the filthy scum Mark Meadows, concerning the plan to engage the Justice Department or to prevent Congress from counting the electoral votes. I mean, think about this. These were elected members of Congress doing this, not a bunch of gangster pissants like the Proud Pricks or the QAnon or the Oath Destroyers. No. These were members of Congress. Additionally, the cooperation that the 1-6 committee has received from former Orange Vomit administration officials, including the former disgraced piglet Attorney General William Barr, that all means we might get unique insight into the effort to discredit mail-in ballots in advance of the election. Declare them invalid before the goddamn things even are cast. And according to Jennifer Rubin, this will be essential, what I just said, especially because one party, the fascist Christian party, is actively attempting to create a false account of events. Not only have they told the big lie, the Hitlerian big lie, but they have to continue to lie to shore up the big lie. It's just an endless series of lies and more lies and more lies, to the point where it's understandable that the average American is going to say, you know, fuck this. I've had enough of it, and try to check out of the political system. But if that is done, these son of a bitch and Nazi Christians win. They win everything. The government, the society, your fucking mind, everything. They win. If the rest of us say, you know, fuck this, I've had enough of it. And as tempting as that is, we can't. We can't do that. But Rubin also points out, even before the Select Committee's anticipated hearings, the public hearings will take place, it's provided a more complete perspective on the insurrection. Remember, all this committee is doing now is taking testimony, interviewing, sending out subpoenas. So far from a single effort to overturn the election by inflaming a mob, which is what the orange vomit Donald Jesus Christ Trump was trying to do, this was a multi-pronged group attempting and arguably involving dozens of officials in the Trump administration and state governments to destroy the country, Well, this incredible piece of engineering accomplishment was zooming through space. These piglets down here were doing this shit. Oh, my God. Now, if anything should shock us and infuriate us normal, common, average Americans, because it goddamn sure shocks and infuriates me, it just makes me enraged, is the unwillingness of the people involved in this goddamn treason to blow the whistle in real time, including those who quietly resigned, like this fucker Bob Barr, William, what the hell's his name? William Barr. He knows all kinds of shit, but he's not going to let it out. That's what should enrage, I think, all Americans. It goddamn sure does me. Oh, my God, these scum, these filthy bastards. And the filthy, rotten Trump offspring, his disgusting 3 adult children. I don't include Tiffany. Tiffany has nothing to do with these scum. But Don Jr. and Eric and the sainted Ivanka, God damn them. Now, part of the mandate that the January 6th committee has is to uncover the details and the extent of the plot. And with the idea being it's trying to fix the institutions and rules that the orange vomit, Donald Jesus Christ Trump, and his cult tried to exploit. And in addition to identifying those potential reforms, you know, when these scum bastards on the right say, well, this committee has no validity because congressional committees are supposed to be involved in legislation, that's exactly what this is about. So in addition to identifying what is necessary to reform so that another incipient fucking dictator like Donald Jesus Christ Trump comes along and doesn't have the loopholes to exploit. There is also a particular interest in knowing which former officials balked at facilitating a coup. People like the acting attorney general back then, Jeffrey Rosen, or the guy who resigned here in the Northern District of Georgia, Young Jae Pak. And which of officials that were part of the Trump administration, like these two were who resigned, which ones eagerly participated in this seditious, goddamn treasonous plot? Why? Because we, you and me, and the other 330 million of us should know who betrayed the trust that was put in them and who deserves the scorn and of their fellow Americans and jail time, execution. I mean, what is it? What is needed here? And even if some of these bastards who will skate free, it'll be determined their actions weren't subject to prosecution, we have to know who these filthy pigs were. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.